90.9 The Vine, in conjunction with AreaSports.net, proudly presents The Sports Couch. The Sports Couch is 60 minutes of great local sports talk each and every Saturday morning as we visit with area coaches, athletes, and other media personnel to cover the area sports that's most important to you. Who will be on the couch this morning? Let's find out. The Sports Couch is on the air right now. And good morning again, sports fans. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Couch here live on the radio and online. I'm Randy Olson, live in studio, flying solo this morning as Danny's on assignment with some other things going on this morning, but he'll be joining me later this afternoon for one of the ball games. It will be live video streaming from the Conrad Allen Holiday Tournament, as we'll bring you the game at 3 o'clock this afternoon between Gallatin County and Weber Township. And then Billy Rocket will join me at 4:30 for the game between Wayne City and Crab Orchard. Again, you can watch both those games live from the Conrad Allen Holiday Tournament this afternoon on AreaSports.net. We got a busy show here this morning, though, and what's exciting about it is that the Illinois Associated Press basketball rankings came out, their first edition this past week, and some area teams are on those rankings, and 4 of those coaches of 4 ranked teams are going to be with us on the show this morning. We will have Coach Scott McElravy of the Fairfield Mules with us here in just a little bit, as his Mules won again last night. A big win, in fact, on the road down at El Dorado, and might be the most lopsided win that he's had against El Dorado in his tenure. We'll have to ask him about that. But Fairfield certainly receiving a lot of votes in terms of the Associated Press writers are concerned in Class 2A, so they technically are ranked 11th in the state right now in Class 2A basketball. Doug Creel and his Mount Vernon Rams, a big win last night in their home opener against Carbondale, and Mount Vernon's ranked 9th in the state in Class 3A basketball, and they also got a great honor last night by the Illinois Basketball Coaches Association that we'll talk to Doug about later on this morning. Number 1 ranked Nashville Hornets, the number 1 ranked team in the state in Class 2A. Coach Wayne Harre, he'll join us on the show this morning. And also the Benton Rangers, who are getting some love by the writers in Class 3A. They ranked 10th going into last night's game, although they lost a heartbreaker to Harre last night by 2 points. Coach Ron Winemiller of the Rangers will join us this morning on the show as well. And, of course, then we'll preview the Conrad Allen Holiday Tournament. It'll take place today with day 1 at Wayne City. And Coach Jim Corrona, the new coach of the Wayne City Indians, will join us on the show to talk about the tournament and about their upcoming game later this afternoon. So it's a busy, busy day for you here on the Sports Couch, so stay with us, all right? Looking at some of the scores from last night around the area, you can check these out, of course, on our sports website at AreaSports.net. The Black Diamond Conference last night, Fairfield Mules remained undefeated. They went on the road and blistered the El Dorado Eagles. Actually had a running clock down there as they beat the Eagles 61-28. Edwards County beat Hamilton County 48-27. Johnson City comes from behind to nip Carmi 54-52 in Black Diamond affair. Cesar-Valliere lost to Chester last night, 58-37. It was Vienna over Ziegler-Royalton, 56-42. And in games involving Black Diamond teams that were non-conference games, Trico lost to Oakville, 59-37, and Christopher lost to Woodlawn, 52-37. In the South 7 Conference last night, Mount Vernon, as I said earlier, a big win at home last night against Carbondale, 57-38. The Rams jumped out in that game 19-3 and led at halftime 28-9. Belleville-Altoff comes from behind in the closing seconds to beat Centralia last night, 44-43. The Orphans had led that game at every one of the quarter stops along the way last night, but Altoff gets the win. Cahokia comes from behind in overtime to beat Marion last night, 75-69. Marion was up by as many as 15 in that game before the Comanches came roaring back. Cahokia Conference action last night. The Salem Wildcats with a huge win at home against Bree Central, 41-31. It was Freeburg over Carlisle, 45-40. Marissa over Steelville, 70-40. Dupo beat Redbud, 55-23. New Athens over Valmeyer, 61-49. Little Illini Conference action last night. Lawrenceville Indians beat the Flora Wolves, 78-51. KC Westfield remained undefeated, and of course they are state ranked, and they'll be playing Fairfield here in a week or so. Last night, KC Westfield beat Robinson 76-63. It was Olney over Red Hills 66-36. Marshall over Paris 73-55. And in a game involving a Little Illini Conference team that was a non-conference game, Newton beat North Clay 61-54. Midland Trail Conference action last night. Waltonville beat Christ Our Rock 62-55. Grayville over Sandoval in a tight one 67-65. In a non-conference game, Weber Township lost to Thompsonville 49-36. Thompsonville's ranked 8th in the state in Class 1A basketball. And Sisney beat Oblong last night in a non-conference game, 69-42. Mississippi Valley Conference action last night. Highland beat Mascoutah 63-45. Those Highland Bulldogs are pretty salty. Triad over Waterloo 75-47. Jerseyville beat Bethalto 55-48. In the River to River Conference last night, Nashville remained unbeaten. They are 6-0 on the season. Again, Coach Wayne Harre will join us on the show a little bit later on as the number one ranked Hornets showed why they're ranked number one last night, blistering Anna Jonesboro 63-32, and the Hornets are just not giving up any points this year. Incredible defense. Pinckneyville a winner over Sparta last night, 72-52. Carterville beat DuQuoin 42-39. Harre over Benton in a tight one, 42-40. And again, we'll have the Rangers coach Ron Winemiller with us in the show next half hour. Massac County over Murfreesboro 56-48. West Frankfort over Harrisburg 62-42. GEC Conference last night, Gallatin County beat Pope County 62-49. Crab Orchard beat Galatia 57-37. Hardin County over Carrier Mills 53-38. And other scores, some non-conference games last night. Teotopolis lost to Bloomington Central Catholic 62-48. Breeze-Modern 8 beat Quincy Notre Dame 65-45. Mount Carmel lost again. They are really struggling this year. They lost to Vincennes Lincoln last night 65-59. Mulberry Grove continued their winning ways. They are undefeated. They beat Bunker Hill 49-40. And it was Dietrich over Cowden-Herrick 75-70. If you missed any of those scores or you want to see even more scores, you'll see even more posted on our sports website at AreaSports.net. Well, stay tuned. When we come back, we will hook up with our first coach this morning, and that's going to be Coach Scott McElravy of the Fairfield Mules. We'll chat with him about last night's victory over El Dorado when we come right back. Stay tuned.
It's the local sports talk show that everyone is talking about. It's the Sports Couch on 90.9 The Vine and AreaSports.net.
Are you going out of town for a vacation or a weekend getaway? What are you going to do with your dog? That's easy. There's Jaggers Doggy Daycare in Mount Vernon. Jaggers Doggy Daycare is your one-stop shop for overnight dog boarding, doggy daycare, as well as dog grooming and obedience dog training. It's your dog's home away from home. They will thrive, and they'll get one-on-one attention by a great staff. More information is available on the web at jaggersdoggydaycare.com. Jaggers Doggy Daycare, 414 Main Street in Mount Vernon.
Crawford Plumbing, LLC in Woodlawn is licensed, bonded, insured, and ready to serve your household and business plumbing needs. From leaky faucets to complete plumbing systems and repair, Crawford Plumbing in Woodlawn is a full-service plumbing company. They can be reached at 618-242-3360. Crawford Plumbing in Woodlawn is a proud underwriting sponsor of Real Life Radio.
Sometimes you need an attorney who can look out for your interest. Located just a short drive away in Mount Vernon, Olson & Reeves offer a free consultation to discuss your needs. Everything is discreet and confidential. At Olson & Reeves, they can provide you with consultation and assistance with traffic law and DUIs, estate planning, living wills, divorce, real estate contracts, personal injury and accidents, as well as medical malpractice. Call Olson & Reeves, attorneys at law in Mount Vernon at 316-7323. Welcome back to the Sports Couch here live on a Saturday morning on 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine Radio, and also streaming live worldwide on both of our websites. Live video streaming right now at AreaSports.net, live audio streaming at WVYN.org. I'm Randy Olson, live in studio. Danny is elsewhere this morning, but he'll hook up with us later this afternoon as we broadcast some games with video streaming from the Conrad Allen Tournament in Wayne City. And hopefully he'll be back with us on the show again next week. Well, last night, of course, the Fairfield Mules looked good again. And, boy, they really did it with defense last night as they went on the road at El Dorado and actually had a running clock down there at El Dorado. When's that ever happen? They beat the Eagles last night on their floor, 61-28. Coach Scott McElravy joins us on the show right now. Good morning, Scott. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Randy. I'm pretty good.
Boy, you've got to be just so elated how well your Mules are playing so far, and particularly defensively, and they showed it last night, didn't they?
I love this group. We've from day one talked about, like, hanging our hat on our defense and our defensive pressure, and they've really bought in. You know, we've got multiple kids that can come in and play, and it was just a lot of fun last night.
Well, I was at your game down at Cesar last Saturday night, and that was a great atmosphere and a great game. And they challenged you, and they had you down for a while, and you needed to be pushed and challenged like that, but you rose to the occasion, and you did it down there with defense as well.
Yeah, I thought, in the first half we had too many turnovers, which they're good at forcing those type of situations because they get out and guard like we do. We got into foul trouble, too. I think we got down 7 maybe in the second quarter. But like you said, the kids really rose to the occasion in the second half. That was a good game for us, going on the road, playing in a tough place like that.
Yeah, it really is. And I think a lot of what you did last Saturday at Cesar, and you probably did it last night at El Dorado, is the fact that the Mules were able to score so much in transition, and they're doing so very unselfishly. I love how the guys are keeping their eyes up the floor and looking up the court and advancing the ball and getting some easy hoops.
Yeah, we've got, I think, O'Neill is at 14 a game, and then we've got, I think, 7 kids from 8 points to 6. I mean, I've never had anything like that before, and we preached that from day one. We feel like we've got more than 5 starters for sure. So some years, some teams that doesn't bode well, but the kids have really bought into it. Our depth, hopefully, wears on teams a little bit, especially when we're up pressure.
Well, and I think that did make a difference last week at Cesar. I think with the line changes that you're doing, so to speak, kind of like a hockey team, it really started to wear Cesar down by the fourth quarter, and it took its toll. Yeah,
and like I've told the kids, I mean, you may come out in 3 minutes and you didn't do anything wrong. We've just got to keep it going. And sometimes we talk about pacing. You watch games and kids will pace on one end or the other at all levels, even in the NBA. And we don't want our kids to do that. We want to keep the throttle down under control, to keep the throttle down and keep the pressure on the other team. And we feel like we've got the athletes that we can do that with this year.
Well, and with the defensive pressure that you're putting on, it is important to have fresh legs out there, and that's all what this is all about, is having fresh legs on the floor.
Yeah, we took advantage of, El Dorado's got some young kids that had to handle the ball last night, and by making it a full court game, we also, when we got even in the half court, we didn't give them a chance to set up. And I like the fact they played some 1-2-2 on us, which gave us a different look on offense. Let us work on some different things there as well.
Well, in your tenure as coach at Fairfield, that's got to be the most lopsided win the Mules have had over an Eagles team, particularly at El Dorado, isn't it?
Yeah, that just doesn't happen. And Coach Bradley's had 2 special. That group he had last year was special. They won the conference 2 years in a row. We know that's one of our big goals this year, and so we put that on the board. I mean, they're the defending champs until somebody knocks them off. It's not just a one-game deal. We get to play home and away against every team, so that was good. If you can get your wins on the road, as many as you can, that's a big deal.
Well, and another team, of course, that you've added to the schedule, and we've alluded to it a couple times on the show with you, is Casey Westfield, and that game looms here in the near future. And, they continued their winning ways last night. They're undefeated. They're state-ranked. And when they come to the Mule Barn, that's going to be a special game. But I know you can't look at that game yet, because the next one on your schedule is those Hamilton County Foxes down at McLeansboro.
Yeah, Coach Miller does a good job. First time we've played him, since he's been in Green. And then I've got, their JV coach, Coach Bailey, one of Coach Book and I, former players, great kid, great guy, actually. They'll be ready for us, and then we've got a big game against Albion, Edwards County on Friday at home. So nothing to look forward. I mean, we definitely are excited about the Casey Westfield game, but we've got plenty of games in between, 2 conference games that we got to worry about first.
Yeah. Well, it looked like Johnson City bounced back after their loss to you with a big win over Carmi last night, coming from behind. And apparently Russ really had the Lions playing well last night with Edwards County, because they won handily over Hamilton County last night.
Yeah, Edwards County's good. These kids have been there and started for the last 3 years. I fully expect that to be a good game at our place. Our kids, we've played against those guys, most of them since 5th grade. Coach Gerlach does a good job with them, and that's going to be a good game. They'll be up for us, I know that.
Well, and they bring a little size to the table, too, that you'll have to make an adjustment with, and it'll be a battle on the boards. That's something you've been very good at early in the season, is rebounding, but they'll challenge you on the boards, won't they?
Yeah, they're strong. I mean, honestly, person to person, they're probably stronger than we are. I mean, they got some big kids. The Wallace kids, Snicker, they've been around forever. They're both all-conference returning players. That's going to be a really good game.
Hey, I got to ask you about the the JV game down at Sesser last week, Saturday night. I've never seen any basketball game won like that at the end. That was something else with the ball inbounded and the opposing team still in the huddle. Wasn't that incredible?
Yeah, I think Coach Book thought maybe when you're at home, when you're on the road running, maybe he thought that the officials were, that's their job. I mean, you blow the whistle twice and you're supposed to set the ball down. Usually you don't do that, especially if both teams are in the huddle. We got lucky; it was on our side, right by our bench, and so Blake Pruitt got a easy layup on a pass in before they even had any kid, I think, past half court. And the same thing kind of happened to us last night in the El Dorado game. We're set up to take it out underneath the basket. And we had two of their players run to my son in the corner, and Blake Pruitt standing right there on the block again for a layup that put us up and over the top at the end. So we've had a couple squirrely finishes at the end for the JV players.
Wow.
But they're also undefeated this year too.
Yeah, and they're playing with a lot of emotion and a lot of excitement and really hustling out there. Adam's got them playing well.
Yeah, he always does. And, it's a different lineup. I mean, when you look at my guys compared to JV, they're almost a 6-foot-and-under team, but they can really shoot it. And the biggest thing with those guys, they're used to winning. And that carries over in all sports a lot. When you're used to winning and know how to kind of, pick up a win at the end. Like last night, they did not play well for 3 quarters, but they found a way to win.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big deal.
Well, I know it's early in the year, but you got to be also happy and excited the fact that the sports writers across Illinois, the Associated Press, are showing you some love and have got you ranked 11th in the state right now in 2A. I know you can't let that go to your head or let the guys get complacent with that, but still it's nice to be recognized, isn't it?
It's really nice to be recognized. I'll be dead honest, I haven't mentioned it to them one time. I'm sure they know, but we haven't talked about it yet. We just, it's kind of coach speak. You try to go one game at a time, but I'm super proud of them right now. I mean, as far as how hard they play, listen, I mean, this is a good group of kids, and I think we've got a lot of really nice things to come.
Well, should be a good one Tuesday night down at McLeansboro. The Foxes and the Mules going at it, another Black Diamond affair, and we'll let you go and let you get ready and prepare for that. But congratulations on another win last night, and keep it going, all right?
Hey, I appreciate it, Randy. Thank you.
All right, take care. Bye-bye. Scott McElravy of the Fairfield Mules, and again, they remain undefeated on the season and playing some really, really good basketball. If you've not had a chance to get out and see them yet, this Mules team is legit. You better get out and watch them. That's going to be a good battle down there Tuesday night. And we'll be there to bring you the live video streaming of that game. If you can't make it to McLeansboro, Danny and I will be there. We'll have it on both websites, as a matter of fact. We'll be video streaming it both on foxesfans.net as well as AreaSports.net this coming Tuesday night down at McLeansboro in that Black Diamond Conference affair. Well, when we come back, we're going to talk to Coach Doug Creel, the Mount Vernon Rams. Big win last night over Carbondale in the home opener. Rams are ranked 9th in the state in Class 3A. We'll talk to him next. Coming up. Stay tuned.
It's the local sports talk show that everyone is talking about. It's the Sports Couch on 90.9 The Vine and AreaSports.net.
Hamilton County Flooring on the south side of the square in McLeansboro offers a full line of flooring, cabinets, and countertops for your home or business. Countertops or showers are available in granite, quartz, corian, custom marble, or ceramic tile. Their showroom includes a complete line of flooring available in ceramic tile, cork, bamboo, hardwood, vinyl, laminate, and carpeting, including name brands such as Armstrong, Bruce, Marazzi, Mulligan, Shaw, and Tarkett. We thank Hamilton County Flooring in McLeansboro for their support.
Real Life Radio thanks Fairfield Printing and Graphics for their partnership in local Christian radio ministry. Fairfield Printing and Graphics offers custom sizing for banners and signs, as well as yard signs, corrugated signs, and metal signs. Fairfield Printing and Graphics also specializes in custom t-shirts, business cards, wedding invitations, hats, bags, and much more. They are located at number 5 Williamson Drive in Fairfield, and their phone number is 842-4048.
Heard the old saying, practice makes perfect. Well, there's actually a lot of truth to that, and you can get one-on-one instruction in baseball, softball, basketball, as well as speed and agility drills at the Sports Zone in Fairfield. The Sports Zone has been in business for quite some time now and has helped many area boy and girl athletes excel in their sport of choice. Lessons and practice times are available at convenient times that meet your schedule. The Sports Zone is located on Delaware Street in Fairfield, and we appreciate their support. Welcome back to the Sports Couch here live on a Saturday morning on 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine Radio, and also streaming live worldwide on both of our websites. Live video streaming right now at AreaSports.net and live audio streaming at WVYN.org. I'm Randy Olson live in studio. Danny's not with me this morning. He's got other things going on, but he'll be joining me later this afternoon when we video stream games from the Conrad Allen Holiday Tournament in Wayne City. We'll do that later this afternoon. I'll tell you more about that as the show goes on. We'll have Coach Jim Corrona of the Indians with us later on. But last night, Mount Vernon Rams had their home opener. South 7 Conference Affairs. They took on the Carbondale Terriers, and Rams took care of business, jumping out to a quick 19-3 lead and led at halftime 28-9. And they cruised to a 57-38 win over the Terriers, and I think that's the first time they've beaten the Terriers in a couple of years, if I'm not mistaken. And with us on the phone right now is Coach Doug Creel of the Rams. Good morning, Doug. How are you?
Good morning, guys.
Hey,
doing good.
Good. Great to have you on the show. Good win last night for the Rams. Came out with a lot of energy last night. Might have been feeding off what was going on in that JV game. I don't know, because they won big as well. But, boy, the Rams came out, jumped on them 19-3, and didn't look back.
Yeah, we played well early, and I think that was a big key. And sometimes when you're playing at home, especially your first home game, you're worried about being a little bit too jacked up and trying to do too much, play a little wild and have turnovers and bad shots. We played very, very well that first quarter and got off to a good start, got us a good cushion, and just kind of maintained that throughout.
Yeah, sometimes when you're up 28-9 like you were at halftime, sometimes it's tough to maintain that intensity when you come out for the second half. It's easy to kind of let your guard down a little bit, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and they picked it up. You know, they got after us and they face guarded them. You know, they hit some shots, and our defense got a little bit more porous, but for the most part, I thought we kept it together and did what we needed to do, made our free throws, and played well enough just to kind of maintain that lead. But I would have liked to have played a little better in the second half. But like you said, it's hard to have that intensity, and Carbondale had a little bit to do with that because they got after and played hard and didn't have any, you know, at that point didn't have any pressure on them. So it was nice to get that conference win and get our home opener over with, and you know, we had a great crowd, great student section, and it was just a good night.
Well, it sure was, and the night started off with a presentation from the Illinois Basketball Coaches Association, and we got that picture up on the screen right now, and you and the team and the whole program were honored last night by the Illinois Basketball Coaches Association of being one of the top 5 basketball programs in the state of Illinois. And last night's win was career win 1,919 for the Mount Vernon Rams basketball program down through the years. And that's pretty impressive, being in the top 5 in the state, isn't it?
Yeah, that just says a lot about our basketball culture throughout the years, and everybody that's played or coached or been a fan, and we just happen to be the team that got to accept the plaque. But you know, it's nice honor. It says a lot about our past history and players and tradition and culture.
Well,
so that was nice. It
was real nice, and I was talking with Steve Allen, who made the presentation last night from the Illinois Basketball Coaches Association. He says it's kind of a race to 2,000 now between Mount Vernon and Pinckneyville. Pinckneyville's a couple games ahead of us in terms of career wins, but it'll be interesting to see which program makes it to 2,000 first. Will it be Mount Vernon or will it be Pinckneyville? And, of course, they've got another good team this year, as they always seem to as well. But, that was a great honor last night.
Yeah, it was. It was nice.
Yeah. And,
it was nice. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, in the game last night, you really got contributions from everybody, too, offensively, defensively, crashing the boards. I mean, you got off to a good start with guys hitting some perimeter shots, and then You're able to go inside, to a mirror, and so it was just a well-rounded attack, well-rounded effort last night by the Mules, by the Rams.
Amir does a lot for us, but we're not one-dimensional. We got guys that can make plays, make shots. We got guys that can make shots and don't cut shots. So, there's only one basketball, and I think good teams are teams that share the ball, have balanced scoring, and that's something that we talk about, work on, and we don't want to try to become one-dimensional and force shots, and that may happen. If it does, we learn from it. I think we learned from that Collinsville game a little bit when we played them and didn't play very well. So we do have a lot of weapons, and that's nice.
Well, I think last night I only remember one, maybe two occasions where the Rams came down and only made one pass and took a shot. It was a matter of really, working the ball, trying to get the right angle on the shot or the entry pass, and when you do that, you're going to get a quality shot, and sometimes uncontested, and that's what you want.
Well, yeah, and like moving ahead to next Friday, we're going to have to be patient. Centray does as good a job of anybody taking away people's strengths and making you play your weaknesses, and we're going to have to be patient. We're just going to have to work the ball, and they'll have a good plan, but very seldom can you make one pass and score or two passes and score and beat somebody good. That's just not the way it is. That's the way people and kids would like to play, and you can play that way, but you may not win as many as you'd like,
right?
Or any at all. So the thing is, you got to get a good shot, and on the other end, you got to keep the other team from getting a good shot, and then when they take a bad one, don't let them get it back. That's easier said than done. There's a lot that goes on in between that, but that's basically what it is. And when you play good teams, you may have to work a little bit to get that good shot.
Yeah. Well, and Centray is going to guard you different next week. Like you said, they'll have a plan, and it'll be tough, and you'll have to be patient for sure.
Well, nobody does better than, I've watched them on film. Nobody does better than Coach Benton and his staff. Those guys are squeezing everything out of their guys. They're a very, very good basketball team. They are a dangerous team. They are very capable of beating us here if we don't come and play well and bring our A game. And they got more wins than anybody. You're talking about we're 19, 18, 2000. Got a great culture, great winning tradition, and I'm gonna try not to think about them a whole lot today. Start worrying about them tomorrow.
Well, yeah, you got May Elizabeth there on your lap. You got to worry about May Elizabeth and Milo today, don't you?
Well, I'm getting ready to take my babies up to the May and Milo. We're getting ready to go up to the school and hit the track and the football field and get a little running in. We got a freshman girls game up there today at 10 with Woodlawn that we've added. So we're getting ready to head up there.
All right. Well, that sounds like fun. Hey, elsewhere in the conference, elsewhere in the South 7 Conference last night, a couple of come-from-behind wins last night. Centralia led at every quarter stop, but Belleville-Altoff got them at the end, 44-43, and then Cahokia came from behind to get Marion in overtime, 75-69, after the Wildcats had led by something like 16 early. So are you surprised by those scores last night?
Well, not really. You're dealing with bad things can happen. Bad things can happen to us. You're dealing with young high school kids, and the Centralia a little bit because they always find a way. But when you look at it, Altoff's got some people. I mean, they got 6'7", 6'8" kids inside can do some things. They got two really athletic and good guards. So.
Yeah. Well, hey, I can't let you go without talking about last Saturday's game over at Edwardsville, the shootout game against Kent Williams and St. Louis DeSmet. That was a big win for the Rams, and I came down to the end because you won by 3, and DeSmet had a good look at a 3 at the end of the game that rimmed out. But, hey, there was some intensity in that game. You and Kent were going at it, and that was a fun game, wasn't it? Might not have been fun for you, but it was fun for us as the fans.
Well, it was fun because we won. But it very well could have gone either way. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Kent's doing a great job. He's got a couple guys hurt. They're going to get real good before it's all said and done. Their big 6'10" guy, Yaya, who's been hurt, he's their best inside player because we scrimmaged him a couple times this summer, and he is really, really good. He is not healthy. You know, he didn't play very much, a few minutes in our game. And I know he's got another guy that got hurt in the Centralia Thanksgiving tournament. But they're going to get good. I know they got a big win last night against Vianney. It's fun to see some of your former players having success, but I do not like coaching against them. You know, if you win, you feel bad. You know, but at the same time, we wanted to win just as much as Kent and DeSmet wanted to win. But he's going to do a great job with that program. He already has. But they got a tough road. You know, they got to play Chaminade and those people who are turning out NBA guys.
Right.
So it's a whole different thing. But
yeah.
Kent loves basketball, understands basketball, and he's just tough. You know, he's one of the toughest people that I ever coached, just physically and mentally, and he'll get it done.
Oh,
he'll
yeah.
find a way to get it done.
Oh, I have no doubt.
And it was good, and we were just fortunate. We were just very fortunate we won the game.
Yeah. Well, Rams are 7-1 now, a great start to the season, and again, congratulations, Coach, on the win last night, and best of luck as you prepare for Centralia next week, and we encourage everybody to come out to Shagnon next Friday night.
All right, Randy, thanks for taking care of us. I appreciate it.
All right, enjoy those puppies today, all right?
All right, I'm going to. We're going to have fun right now.
All right, see you now. All right, bye-bye.
All right.
It's Coach Doug Creel, the Mount Vernon Rams, and a big win for the Rams last night. And, again, they are ranked 9th in the state in Class 3A basketball. They beat Carbondale last night 57-38, take on the Centralia Orphans at Mount Vernon coming up this next Friday night. That should be a good one. Well, when we come back after the top of the hour, station identification and a word from our sponsors, we'll visit with Coach Wayne Harre of the Nashville Hornets. They're ranked number 1 in 2A. We'll talk to Wayno coming up next. Stay tuned.
It's the local sports talk show that everyone is talking about. It's the Sports Couch on 90.9 The Vine and AreaSports.net.
This is your home for best Christian music.
WVYN, Blueford, Wayne City, Fairfield, Mount Vernon.
And now on Translator, W288CO Centralia, broadcasting at 105.5.
A service of Real Life Radio Foundation.
The best Christian music, 90.9 The Vine.
People all over Southern Illinois get their Mexican fix at Agave Mexican Restaurant in Mount Vernon. When you want delicious Mexican food 7 days a week, Agave is open for your convenience. And they have a private dining room for special meetings, birthday parties, or anniversaries. They also have a kids menu with a $1.99 kids special on Mondays. And join their discount text club at Agave Mexican Restaurant, where their full menu is online. Agave Mexican Restaurant, 300 South 44th Street on the frontage road in Mount Vernon.
The Vine thanks Coons Computers in Mount Vernon for their underwriting support. They repair iPhones, provide managed IT services that include antivirus management, monitoring and updates, web protection, remote access, and content filtering. Coons Computers also offers off-site data backup solutions, risk intelligence, computer sales and repair, and a full line of accessories. They are located at 2409 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Their website is coonsinc.com, and their phone number is 242-7514.
Welcome back to the Sports Couch. You're live on a Saturday morning on 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine Radio, and streaming live worldwide on both of our websites. Live video streaming right now at AreaSports.net and live audio streaming at WVYN.org, and also people listening live on the Vine mobile app for your mobile device as well. I'm Randy Olson, live in studio. Danny's not with me this morning, but he'll be joining me later this afternoon when we do some live basketball coverage from the Conrad Allen Holiday Tournament, and hopefully be back on the show again next Saturday morning. Hey, the Nashville Hornets are ranked number 1 in Class 2A basketball in the first Associated Press basketball poll to come out, and they are 6-0 on the season after a big win last night as they won a game in the River Conference over Anna Jonesboro 63-32, and Wayne Harre, head coach of the Nashville Hornets, joins us right now. Good morning, Wayno. How are you?
How you doing, Randy?
Great, doing well, and good to have you on the show. And congratulations on another big win last night for your Hornets. Man, you're off to a great start at 6-0.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, it was for as far as last night's games go. We started out a little slow, a little sluggish. Anna had a good game planned. Made some shots against us, but I thought defensively, second half we picked it up a little bit. I thought we could test it a little bit, shots a little bit better, and got a little spread them a little bit, and that helped there down the road. And we shot it better the second half. So a solid win. Coach Chambliss does a good job down there at Anna Jonesboro, and it's always a tough place to play. And I thought we competed pretty well. Well,
your defense has just been stifling here in these first 6 games. You know, if we go back and we look at the scores on our scoreboard here, I mean, Trenton Westglen, you give them 12 points. Metro East Lutheran, they scored 19. Waterloo scores 18. Anna Jonesboro last night 32. Columbia 32. Muscuda 34. So you've held everybody to 34 or less points. 3 teams below 20 in your first 3 games. That's some pretty darn good defense, Wayne.
Well, we hope that continues. The kids are doing a good job. I mean, credit goes to them. They're seem like they're getting after it, the defensive end. At the same time, we all know you can play really good defense as we watch on TV, and people still shoot it well. And we've been pretty fortunate that some teams have missed some shots. We know we're going to run into a situation where teams are going to make shots even when we play good defense. But at the same time, I think again our kids are bought into it, and we just try to make it pretty simple. It's just stay between them, your man in the basket, and make them shoot it over you. And we hope that trend continues. I think the other thing I'm pretty proud about these kids is that when you play defense, you have to rebound. You can't give people offensive rebounds.
Right.
I think we've done a good job with that of checking off and going and getting rebounds. So that's a big key to early in the year what we've been doing.
Well, the thing about the defense, too, you're going to have nights where your team's not going to shoot well. The ball's just not going to want to go in the hoop. And as long as you're not taking a night off on defense and you're still keeping that intensity, you got a pretty good chance of winning the ball game and give yourself a position to win, don't you?
Well, and that's what we try to tell them, as a coaching staff. I think we've all played basketball. At least a lot of people play basketball. And we know that sometimes, you could be the best shooter in the world. There's some nights that just the ball won't go in the basket. But, your effort can always be on the defensive end. And if you can do that, you might be able to grind a game out where it's possible that you might lose. So that's a big key for us, and it's, it's hard to get kids to buy into it sometimes, and we're hoping that the kids stay with it. You watch it again, you watch the NBA and the colleges, everybody's scoring points, running up down the floor. You don't see any ESPN highlight defensive tapes or anything like that. So it's all about offense. So that's a credit to the kids that they're doing it.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about your personnel. I know you graduated a couple guys last year, but you got a good solid core that's returned, and you got some size to go along with that too. You got a couple 6'4" guys across the board, 6'3", that sort of thing. And so, run through your roster with us right now as far as those main guys that see varsity action for you, and let our listeners become more familiar with the Hornets.
Well, we've got 3 returning starters with Bryce Boltman and Carson Parker. They're both about 6'4" swing players. And then Tanner Bergman, he's about a 6'5", 6'6". He's our center. they're solid players. Bryce is verbally or already signed, I should say, signed with McHenry. So he can see the floor. He does a lot of good things for us. And Carson Parker is a junior. Again, he can do a lot of different things. He can post up, shoot the ball from the perimeter. It's a tough matchup for people. And then Tanner Bergman, our other returning starter, is a post player, and he does a very good job defensively. He's long and lengthy, and kind of understands what we're trying to do. Our other two starters that came back are Kelton Harre. He's a senior, does a good job. He can shoot it when he's open, good defender. And the other one is Tristan Hercules, a kid that's a junior that was hurt all last year as a sophomore, and has really come on strong, probably our most improved player as of right now. Kind of runs the point, and it's helped Parker and Boltman out that they don't have to run the point all the time, and he gives us a little more quickness. Last year we were kind of missing that. You get those loose ball situations where he might be able to come up, scoop them up, and do different things, and he's really helped out. And then the two people off the bench right now we're playing is Matt Anderson, played quite a bit as a sophomore. He's a junior. He's about 6'2" or 3", plays inside. He can shoot the ball from the perimeter. And then Terry Pelchinski, another junior, shoot the ball from the perimeter. Got good size, 6'5", 6'6". So, we don't have the big 6'8" kid, but we're kind of big all the way across. So sometimes it makes it tough for people to shoot over us.
Oh, yeah, I would think so. When you're facing guys where they've got guards at 5'9", 5'10", and you're out there at 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", that makes a huge difference. You bet.
Yeah, and I think that's the key for us. Our biggest problem, sometimes we get trying to mix and match. Is, you get a taller person on a quick guard, or they can go around. So we're still working on that, trying to keep our big people in front of them, because sometimes it's hard for them to do that. But if we can do that, hopefully, we can be successful as we go here.
Well, you don't have much time to celebrate last night's win over Anna Jonesboro, because I think you got one on the schedule tonight, don't you, with Waterloo-Jabot?
Yeah, we got Waterloo-Jabot coming. A long-time coach, Dennis Reeder, bringing his team in. He's just a old-school guy, and they're going to play defense hard, and they're not going to run anything fancy offensively. And here they come. Just does a tremendous job. He's been there almost 35 years probably at that school, and done even maybe longer than that. Just does a tremendous job at that school, and just a class individual. So it's always a good game for us. I know they've got everybody back from last year. They did not start. They didn't have any seniors on the roster. So they've got kids that can do a lot of different things. So it'll be a good game. It's a home opener for us. So we're pretty excited about that. And we've been on the road a lot.
Yeah, that's right. Good to be home after playing 6 on the road. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then looking at the rest of your schedule, you're in the Breeze Mater Day tournament again at Christmas time, correct?
Yeah, it's one of the toughest holiday tournaments around when you're. And this year, we open up on the 26th, and we're playing 4 straight days, and you're playing 5 games at 4 straight days against the quality competition there. I rate it second to none. It's just a tough tournament to be in, and trying to find wins somewhere. Got the local teams in there, and then you got the Briarcrest from Tennessee, which is probably rated number 1 in the tournament. That's where Michael Orr went, and they've got athletes up and down the lineup, and then they got a team out of Alabama coming in there. So it's a good mixture of teams that are from different places, and then local teams. So it's a nice venue to watch games. But again, it's a very tough tournament.
And then in mid-January, you got your own Nashville Invitational tournament. Who's going to be in the tournament there with you this year?
The 16 from last year. Of course, we've got Brentwood, Missouri, Breeze Central, Breeze Mater Day, Muscuda, and Nashville. And that 5, I can't remember the other one.
Okay.
I can't remember the other one.
That's all right.
It's the same 6. It's the same 6 that are in it. But again, we went to pool play last year, and I think people like that. We got 3 teams in each pool. it kind of keeps the Bree Central, Bree Modern Day away from each other, and they kind of appreciate that, and it makes it a pretty good tournament. Again, it's a solid tournament. Anytime you bring those kind of teams in there, and I think people enjoy watching that.
Mm-hmm.
And, our schedule's very good. We're in the Benton shootout. We're going to play T-Town, and we're going to Highland shootout, and we're going to play Effingham there. So our schedule is as good as anybody's, and we know that, so we got to be ready every night.
Yeah. Speaking of the schedule, since the IHSA allowed you to go to 31 games this year, did you add anybody to the schedule this year, expanding it?
Well, that's why we went up to the Edwardsville shootout last Saturday. And
okay.
We played Metro there, and then we of course we added Chester. We're playing them next Tuesday, which we saw them play. I saw them play this week, and they're Coach Norman's done a good job down there. They are very, very good. Of course, everybody hears about the Kiner kid. He's solid, but they got 4 good players around him, and they've really beefed up their schedule. They're playing Carbondale and people like that. So that'll be a tough game. We play them Tuesday coming up. So we added them, and then of course we're going into Highland shootout. And those are the 3 games we added to make it 31. The 2 shootouts in Chester. So I think that's okay. The 31 games is okay, but at the same time, it's hard to practice. I know it's all about playing games. Understand that, but it's different. I'll be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how it would be. We were kind of fortunate. We had quite a bit experience coming back, but if you've got a young ball club, that makes it pretty tough on you when you're trying to get them, trying to teach and get them to used to varsity basketball. So it's a fine line of scheduling, I'm thinking.
Yeah, well, I think you're exactly right. And Coach Creel from Mount Vernon echoed that same thing when we talked to him last week about this. He said exactly the same thing. He said, I'm not so sure it's the right thing to do is to go out and add 3 or 4 more games because you got to have time to practice.
Yeah, especially early. I mean, I tell you what, Randy, it makes it tough for us because our conference is on Fridays and Saturdays mostly, and that's when our games are. Well, the Coke is Tuesday, Friday, and I think the South 7 is pretty much Friday, Saturday. I'm not sure.
Right.
But if you've got Tuesday, Friday, then you can kind of mix and match. But if you've got Friday, Saturday, and then you're coming, it is very hard to try to find a date, and so that's what really makes it tough. But then if you've got if you've got a 3A or if you're 4A, you got that extra week to play.
Right.
As you go back, even girls, I coached girls we were 2A. They've got a less week, so they have no time to practice trying to get 31 games in. I think it really makes it tough.
Yeah. Well, I know you probably haven't talked about this to your team, and that is being ranked number 1 in the state in Class 2A and by the Associated Press, and you probably don't talk about that with the team, but you got to be happy about being recognized that way because certainly people are taking notice of the Hornets program.
Well, yeah, I mean we don't really mention it. I mean, it's polls are polls. It's nice. It's a recognition thing for the kids. It's something they can, down the road say, hey, we were this. But it really doesn't mean anything. You still got to go play games.
Right.
But, And if you look at those Chicago teams up there, Randy, their schedules, they're playing, Simeon and all those
right,
guys up there.
Right.
And they've got losses, and if we played those schedules, we'd have our hands full.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I mean, it's nice for that, but I mean, when you step on the court, that doesn't mean a thing. That team's going to try to beat you, and and you got to. It'd be great for for that other team. It gets everybody fired up, and that's fine. And again, but it's hey, we're just trying to get better all the time, and we know we're going to have our ups and downs, but hopefully that we'll keep getting better as the year goes on.
Hey, one quick question that's non-basketball related. How about that acquisition by the Cardinals, Goldschmidt?
Pretty solid. I am pretty happy about that.
Yeah,
it seems
me
like
too.
He's going to fit in pretty well. I think. He can move Carpenter to third base, and it's something that they need in the middle of the lineup to stabilize it. I don't think they've had that since maybe Pujols or Holiday in there, and when they had those guys in there, and I think it's somebody that you can go watch too. They'll bring fans in.
Oh yeah.
People want to see superstars.
Oh yeah.
And I think they made a good trade. Hopefully they can sign him. If they can't, if they can't, they can't. But hopefully they can get him signed. And I think he's like I said, he's a class individual. There's no question about that.
Well, I think it gives everybody something to look forward to in 2019. This is going to be a fun year, hopefully, for the Cardinals if everybody stays healthy. Yep.
Yeah, so. And that's always the key. He could get hurt, and then that would, that's not the best. Anybody get hurt, but I'm hoping to watch a lot of Cardinal baseball in the summertime and have a good time, and hopefully they'll be successful.
All right. Well, Wayno, we'll let you go. We appreciate your time this morning. Again, congratulations on the win last night and the 6-0 start, and best of luck with Waterloo Jabot tonight, okay?
Thanks, Randy. Anytime.
All right. Take care. All right. Bye-bye. Wayne Harre, head coach of the Nashville Hornets, and always a good guy to talk to, and we appreciate his time today on the show as they're off to a 6-0 start. They'll take on Waterloo Jabot tonight. Hey, when we come back, we'll visit with Coach Ron Winemiller of the Benton Rangers. They lost a tough one last night. We'll visit with him coming up next. Stay tuned.
It's the local sports talk show that everyone is talking about. It's the Sports Couch on 90.9 The Vine and AreaSports.net.
Accidents happen. It's part of life. But when an accident occurs with your car or truck, you can count on the professionals at Sesser Auto Body in Sesser. Whether you have a collision with a deer, a building, a parking post, or another vehicle, Sesser Auto Body in Sesser can restore your car or truck to look like nothing ever happened. That's why many people in Southern Illinois refer to Sesser Auto Body as the Collision Pros. We appreciate the underwriting support of Sesser Auto Body in Sesser. Sometimes you need an attorney who can look out for your interest. Located just a short drive away in Mount Vernon, Olson & Reeves offer a free consultation to discuss your needs. Everything is discreet and confidential. At Olson & Reeves, they can provide you with consultation and assistance with traffic law and DUIs, estate planning, living wills, divorce, real estate contracts, personal injury and accidents, as well as medical malpractice. Call Olson & Reeves, attorneys at law in Mount Vernon at 316-7320. Welcome back to the Sports Couch. You're live on a Saturday morning on 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine Radio and streaming live worldwide on both of our websites. Live video streaming at AreaSports.net, live audio streaming at WVYN.org. I'm Randy Olson, live in studio. Danny is not with me this morning. He's got some other things going on, but he'll hook up with me later this afternoon as we'll broadcast games for you from the Conrad Allen Holiday Tournament with video streaming on AreaSports.net. Last night, the Benton Rangers ventured out in River Conference play and took on the Harre Tigers. It was a nail-biter, and the Tigers won it in the end, 42-40. Head coach of the Benton Rangers joins us right now. It's Ron Winemiller. Good morning, Ron. How are you?
I'm good, Randy. How are you?
Great. Good to have you on the show. Tough loss last night. Boy, that Harre bunch, though, they got some sharpshooters on that team, and I'm guessing that's probably what happened last night. They hit some big shots, huh?
Yeah, we did a really good job defensively on Lingle and Holloway. We turned the ball over a few times in the first half and let Anthony get out in transition and get some easy baskets. But I thought we did a really good job starting the game. The middle part of the game, the zone kind of kept us off balance a little bit. But I thought we got off to a really good start and then a really good end. Unfortunately, missed the shot at the end of the game that would have won it.
Well, of course, you lost a lot of guys to graduation last year, and, of course, you had a great season last year, as everybody knows. But the cupboard wasn't bare. You got some good guys that have come back to the program this year, some guys that saw some minutes, some experience, and a little bit of size to go with that. And so talk about your personnel and who you're dependent upon this year with the Rangers.
Well, we bring back one starter from last year, and Carson Lewis, and he started every game for us last year as a sophomore. He was named MVP at Goreville, so he's got off to a good start. We got two other junior guards to start for us. Grant Gordon's our point guard. Brad Hammond's our off guard. And then two seniors start for us around the rim. We got Mason Wills and Joey Craig. And then we play 3 or 4 guys off the bench. We got a freshman named Reed Baumgart that plays off the bench for us. We also got a sophomore named Wyatt McClintock who's really, really played well early in the season. We also played Brady Gisher off the bench some, and another freshman named Layman Bolden. So we're pretty young and inexperienced, but really liked our guys' fight last night.
Well, and you've got to have a lot of confidence after doing so well down at Goreville, winning that Goreville Invitational Tournament. That gives you a lot of confidence moving into the regular season.
Yeah, it does, and, I felt like we played with a lot of confidence last night. Just a little bit different animal when you go to Harre and play as far as their length and athleticism. And like I said, we handled it sometimes pretty well, and other times it's a little bit difficult to simulate what we see in practice and then what you see in a game and get the guys in the right spot. But a lot of times that length can really show up on Friday night that it doesn't Monday through Thursday.
Of course, you haven't had an opportunity to play a home game yet, but it looks like you're going to get that chance Tuesday night against Carmi. Is that right?
Yeah, a really good Carmi team. I think they're much better than their record indicates. They've kind of tough luck losers some this early in the season. Got a really good player named Ethan Mahan, who's the named MVP at the DuQuoin tournament. So we'll have our hands full Tuesday night.
Yeah, they lost a nail-biter just like you did last night. Lost by 2 points to Johnson City, so they'll be coming in looking for a win too, so that should be quite a battle Tuesday night.
Yeah, it's been a really good game for, the 10 years I've been at Benton. It's been a really competitive non-conference game and one that we are excited about playing. And we get to play it at home this year, but always like going over to Carmi. Coach Simon, Coach Lee do a good job of always making you feel welcome, and it's really a first-class operation, and it's the kind of thing you look for in a non-conference game.
Ron, with the expansion of the schedule potentially this year by the IHSA allowing teams to go to 31 games, did you add some teams to your schedule this year?
We really didn't. We're at 30 this year. We really didn't have a spot for the 31st game. Really the only difference to our schedule from last year is we are not playing Mount Vernon this year, and we picked up Livingston County, Kentucky, so we're going to play them for 2 years, and we're looking at maybe adding another game for next year, kind of finding a better place for it to fit in the schedule. I just didn't want to schedule a game just to schedule a game.
Sure.
I wanted it to have a good spot in our schedule, so we feel like we got some spot. With the IHSA changing the percentage next year, we know that we're going to be back in 2A, so that enables us to kind of have a little flexibility and know exactly where to put the game. This is our last year with Salem on the contract, so with them staying 3A and us going 2, I'm fairly certain we won't play them after this year. So we got a couple games, a little flexibility in our schedule, and we're going to try to use that to schedule some pretty good 2A teams that we don't already see.
Yeah, okay. Christmas time, you're going to be at the Duster Thomas Classic again in Pinckneyville, I believe. Is that right?
That's correct, yeah, the expanded Duster Thomas.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so that'll be an interesting affair for you. And then, of course, you got your BIT coming up in mid-January. Any changes in the teams in the BIT or same lineup as last year?
No, same lineup as last year. It's been the same for 5 or 6 years now.
Right.
And, it's something we look forward to host every year, and we're excited about it. It's been really good to us the last 3 years. We've been able to win the championship, and we look forward to a good week of basketball. And I really got to say I'm excited about the Pinckneyville tournament. I love the expansion to 16 teams and going to the bracketed format. And, I think that tournament's going to explode in popularity with the teams that are there, and I think it'll turn into an El Dorado type atmosphere. And we're really, really excited about going to Pinckneyville in a couple of weeks.
Well, I think you're right. I think that 16-team bracketed affair will really draw some more people, some more interest, and I think you're right. I think it will grow in probably a short period of time because that's a great venue as well.
Oh, it's a wonderful place to play. I mean, it's one of the storied places in the state of Illinois to go play, and to be able to win it last year and play in the championship game 2 years ago. It was a big deal to our guys. It kind of completed for that senior class. They won everything that we played in, either as a junior or a senior, and really kind of completed what we felt they kind of left on the table last year. And to win the last year of the old format will be something that's pretty cool. And now to go to this new format, we're really, like I said, I can't emphasize how excited I am about going to the third day and playing in a bracketed tournament. I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, and then you've, of course, got your Benton shootout, the Rich Heron shootout coming up on February 2nd. That's going to be a special day for you and your facility, and I know you look forward to that.
Yeah, I do. That's a little bit more laid back. We just play the one game, and it's not as stressful as the Benton tournament where it's all those games packed into 1 week. And, a lot of out-of-area teams we have. I feel like we got some really good matchups. T-Town and Nashville are going to play.
Right.
Heron's going to play Mount Carmel. We're going to play a good Vandalia team. Girls are going to play St. Mary's out of Kentucky. So we're really looking forward to some good matchups, and we feel like they're very, very even matchups. Anna's going to play. Goreville's in at Carmi. So we're really looking forward to a good day of basketball.
Well, and you've got such a great facility down there, at Rich Herron Gym. It really is. And so it's a great place to have an all-day shootout, and I think the fans are going to love it.
Well, I think it'll be a great day of basketball, and we're looking forward to hosting it.
Yeah, okay. All right, so you got Carmi coming up on Tuesday, and then you turn right around and then you play a good West Frankfort team right after that. So it's going to be a busy time for you the next few days, a few weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, easy week. At Herron last night, then Carmi, Frankfort, and Nashville at home next week. So,
yes, sounds easy.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
We're looking forward to the challenge, though. That's one thing that I feel like our guys really had a great week of preparation this week, and that's why I was so disappointed for them, because I felt like they really put in the time and the preparation to go down there and win last night, and it didn't work out for us. And hopefully we can have another couple good days of preparation for Carmi and find a way to win that one, and then get ready for the Franklin County rivalry on Friday.
Mm-hmm. Real quick before I let you go, let's talk about the Ohio division of the River, where you see Benton stacking up there in that side of the conference this year.
Well, if you go down there and steal that one last night, you feel a lot better about your chances.
Right.
Start 0-1's a tough place to be, but at the same time, I think our guy, Herron was the consensus pick by anyone that you asked to win the conference, and we went toe-to-toe with them until the final horn went off. So hopefully it'll give our guys some confidence. Seen Massac a couple times, really like what Coach Hossman has. To me, they're the team that has surprised me the most, kind of what I expected to what I saw, that they'll be right there. Of course, these kids at Frankfort have played for a long time at the varsity level. Haven't maybe had a lot of success, but they have a lot of experience, led by maybe the best player in our conference, and C.J. Johnson. He's a dynamic scorer. Murfreesboro, I think Daryl Murphy's so underrated as a coach. He always gets his guys to play hard and defend and run 12,000 sets. It seems like things are without them. Coach Smith-Peters, they're down a little this year, but Davenport Gym's an awful tough place to play, and I would be willing to bet they don't finish 0-10 in the league. They'll get somebody at home, and I just hope it's not us.
Yeah, I got it. Well, hey, we appreciate your time this morning. Congratulations on the good start. I know tough loss last night, but I know you'll bounce back, and best of luck as you prepare for Carmi next week, Coach, all right?
Hey, anytime. Thanks, Randy.
All right, thank you, Ron. Take care. Bye-bye. Ron Winemiller, head coach of the Benton Rangers, joining us on the show this morning. And, again, they got a tough conference there, that Ohio division of the River Conference, and had a chance to steal one last night down at Herron, but came up just a little bit short, 42-40. But, boy, went toe-to-toe with them, like you said, and so it was a good game, and they'll take on Carmi next. Hey, when we come back, we are going to have one more guest with us on the show this morning, as, of course, today is the opening day of the Conrad Allen Holiday Tournament in Wayne City, a tournament that's been going on for a long, long time, and we are going to talk to Coach Jim Corrona of the Wayne City Indians to talk about that. Coming up next on the Sports Couch, so stay tuned.
It's the local sports talk show that everyone is talking about. It's the Sports Couch on 90.9 The Vine and AreaSports.net.
Music and ministry on the Vine is provided by Tony Wilt State Farm Insurance Agency in Mount Vernon. Tony Wilt State Farm Insurance Agency specializes in providing your life, health, auto, and home insurance, as well as complete financial services. They are located at 4121 South Water Tower Place in Mount Vernon. Their phone number is 242-1421, and their website is TonyWilt.com. We are grateful for their underwriting support.
Are you going out of town for a vacation or a weekend getaway? What are you going to do with your dog? That's easy. There's Jagger's Doggy Daycare in Mount Vernon. Jagger's Doggy Daycare is your one-stop shop for overnight dog boarding, doggy daycare, as well as dog grooming and obedience dog training. It's your dog's home away from home. They will thrive, and they'll get one-on-one attention by a great staff. More information is available on the web at jaggersdoggydaycare.com. Jaggers Doggy Daycare, 414 Main Street in Mount Vernon. Welcome back to the Sports Couch here live on a Saturday morning on 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine Radio, and also streaming live worldwide, both websites are streaming. We have video streaming on AreaSports.net and audio streaming at WVYN.org. I'm Randy Olson, live in studio. Again, Danny is not with me today, but he'll be with us later this afternoon, as we'll be video streaming a couple of games for you today from the Conrad Allen Holiday Tournament, as we'll have Game 3 and Game 4 for you this afternoon. Joining us right now is head coach of the Wayne City Indians. That's Jim Corrona. Good morning, Jim. How are you?
Good morning to you. Very good. Thank you very much.
Well, good to have you on the Sports Couch again. And again, congratulations on the good start by your Wayne City Indians. And I know you're excited about the start of the Conrad Allen Tournament today, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Should really be a great tournament. Good teams, great competition. It's going to be a dogfight. I look at every game, and it could go either way.
Well, you're absolutely right, and we start off today at 12 noon with Sisney taking on Red Hill, and Sisney took you guys to the limit the other night in quite a battle, wasn't it?
Yeah, and kudos to Sisney. They played really well, and they were a big reason why we didn't play well offensively. You know, they did a good job on us, and if we hadn't responded on the defensive end the way we did, they would have got us. But we had one of our better efforts, 12 steals, and we forced 18 turnovers, and we kept them off the line. The big thing was they were only 1 for 2 from the line. And you know as well as I do, any games that are decided by 10 points or less, you can go straight to the free throw line and see who shot more free throws. So that was there's, like I tell our kids, there's different ways to win. That ball game was one on the defensive end and not necessarily on the offensive end.
Yeah, well, and Red Hill comes in with a talented team and some athletes. They were very good in football. A lot of those guys are multi-sport athletes and have switched over from football to basketball now, so I know they'll come in with a good team today. And then following that, you got North Clay against Grayville at 1:30. You got Gallatin County against Weber Township at 3 o'clock, and then your Wayne City Indians take on Crab Orchard this afternoon at 4:30. So we've got 4 great games to start the day, and we'll be there to video stream the 3 o'clock game and the 4:30 game. Tell us what you look for today in that game against Crab Orchard, Coach.
Well, I've seen them one time, and I saw them on film as well. Hey, they're a good man-to-man team. You know, they very aggressive. They fight through their screens. They pick you up at half court, and sometimes they'll extend it a little bit. So, and they just really play hard. And those are the teams, you know, that give you trouble. Kids that won't quit and play hard. That means that you have to step up, and we'll have to do the little things to beat Crab Orchard. You know, good screens, rebound, make the easy pass. The little things that don't show up in the box score will determine this ball game.
Well, probably your game the other night against Sisney, it was probably a good thing that it was close and they pushed you, because it gave you a chance to expose some things that you needed to work on, and it shows your players that, hey, we need to improve in some of these areas, right?
Right. We've spent the last 3 days, you know, trying to improve offensively, you know, and it's just the little things, you know, that you know, we call it game slippage. You know, that was game number 7 for us. So once you get on the road and you start playing a game and practice in 2 days and playing a game, you lose the little things you did the first 12 days of practice. You know, just squaring up to the basket and what we call taking a peek and looking at the defense instead of just catching it and going. You know, that doesn't sound like much, but it's a big factor. You know, we were running about 95 miles an hour. The speed limit is 55 miles an hour. So we were just trying to get too much done, and that's just because we hadn't returned to the fundamentals. So thank goodness we had 3 days to kind of prepare and slow down and say, no, here's the things we did well on day 3, you know, and day 3, 4, and 5 of our season. Now we're on day 28, and we've lost a little bit of that. So we went back to the basics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Hey, that game before you today ought to be a dandy. Gallatin County against Weber Township. That should be a good one.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to Gallatin County. I heard a lot about them, and I've never seen them. Of course, I've been away from this area for a good 20, so I remember Gallatin County was always good, so I'm really anxious to see what they bring to the table.
You know, and this Conrad Allen tournament's been going on a long, long time. It's one of the longest-running tournaments, particularly for small schools here in Southern Illinois. But yet I think it's the first time that you've had the chance to be involved in it, so I'm sure you're looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah. A good friend of mine back in the 70s used to coach at Sisney, and he always talked highly of the tournament here. Of course, I remember, and I think I'm correct on this, it used to be 16 teams.
It did. It did.
And it was a double elimination.
Yeah. Used to be a bracketed tournament.
I don't know how long they've been in pool play, but it was all always a tough tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I always liked it. Of course, I was always at a school that was way too big to be in the tournament, but I always liked it because every other tournament I played in is right after Christmas Day. You go to like 27, 28, 29. So this one, you get a chance to play that week before and really get focused on basketball, and then you get to kind of take a break and really enjoy the holiday season.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we look forward to seeing you there this afternoon at the high school, and we encourage people to come out. Again, the first game is at 12 noon today with Sisney against Red Hill, followed by North Clay at Grayville, Gallatin County against Weber Township, and Wayne City against Crab Orchard. The good thing is you can pay one admission price and watch basketball all day long, right, Coach?
Oh, it'd be great, yeah. It really is a holiday treat.
Yeah, all right. Well, best of luck this afternoon, and we'll see you there at the gym, and we encourage everybody to come out. Thanks for your time today, okay? All right, Jim.
All right, thanks, Randy.
You bet. Bye-bye. Jim Corrona, head coach of the Wayne City Indians. Again, they'll be in battle today against Crab Orchard in that 4:30 game. And if you can't make it out to Wayne City for the action this afternoon, we'll have both the 3 o'clock game between Gallatin County and Weber Township, as well as the 4:30 game between Wayne City and Crab Orchard. We will video stream both of those for you on AreaSports.net. Danny will join me at the 3 o'clock game, and Billy Rocket will join me in the 4:30 game. Should be fun this afternoon. Well, hey, we're out of time. We're going to wrap up today's edition of the Sports Couch. Appreciate all the coaches joining us on the show this morning. Scott McElravy, Doug Creel, Wayne Harre, Ron Winemiller, and Jim Corrona. We'll come back and do it again next Saturday morning at 8:30. 60 minutes of great local sports talk for you right here on the Sports Couch. Have a great day, everyone, and stay tuned. Mark Wells will be in with music throughout the day from 10 till 2 coming up here on The Vine.